make sure we are. And yes, we are. Okay, perfect. So, hey everyone, this is Olivia with Cranked Up Films here with Jonathan Nathan Weisman. Sorry about that.
Joseph Nathan Weisman. That's all right.
Perfect. And it's always the long names that get me. And we are here to talk about his short film, Jim in the Box, which was our most recent Cranks pick. Thank you for joining us today. We're really excited to have you.
Excited to be here. Thank you. It's an honor.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to start off by kind of talking about something that caught my attention when I first watched the film Jim in the Box. Like, it's such a dark story, but yet you filmed it in such a brightly lit space.
Yeah.
And I always think that's really fascinating. I mean, the other film that kind of comes to mind in most recent memory that was like Midsummer. But I love horror films that kind of take twists like that. And I don't know, it's unexpected. So what made you guys go that route with this story?
Well, I really like the contrast of kind of like the isolation and the horror, but being, bombarded by sterile environment. I don't know, for something about that seemed very creepy. And then you don't quite know what's happening, and then you see the clown kind of come into frame. And I don't know, I just love the visual aspect of that.
Yeah, it's very striking, and I mean the whole thing throughout is very, like you said, you're kind of hit with new information in this really sterile room, and so it's always very shocking and jarring, which makes it really, really cool because you're not getting the same, like, you're not getting like a jump scare per se, because you're doing this all in this really constricted space, which is really cool as well. But you're still getting that creepy, jarring feeling because you're in this white space, and then new information is being added. So I do like that you never leave that space. So
yeah, it's very much supposed to be kind of an analogy to a nightmare where you're trapped, you can't move, you're stuck, and whatever's going to happen, you just gotta kind of power through.
Yeah, he definitely powers through. That's for sure. I've always been curious, so many people are afraid of clowns. Like, that's a really common fear. Did you have any people like audibly react to the clown itself when you were at screenings?
Oh my God, yeah, that people hate clowns. Like, I would watch the audience and people would just turn away and cringe, and like, it's not a scary clown, it's not a Pennywise clown, but something about it not being a scary clown for some people freaks them out even more. So
Yeah.
Again, I really like contrast. So I want to do what people are expecting and then give them kind of what they're not expecting.
Yeah, you definitely see that in a lot of elements in this film, which I really like. I mean, for me, I think that that's really true. Like what you said about something that isn't inherently scary can be even scarier than something that's trying to be forcibly scary. So the clown is very much that way. What made you decide, like, choose a clown as the villain too?
Honestly, it's been a little while, but I was kind of running ideas back and forth with my former business partner and one of my close friends. And we were just looking for ideas to kind of debut our company at the time. And we just landed on this freaky clown idea and kind of ran with it.
That's awesome. So the idea, it sounds like, came from just like a conversation, a brainstorming session.
Yeah, we wanted to show like the 5 stages of like hell or remorse or before you get to acceptance.
Yeah.
And we figured that something like this would be a great nightmare scenario to kind of put an audience through. So I think at the end of the day, their imagination runs away with what they're seeing on screen. And I love that kind of aspect of filmmaking too, where everybody is going to have their own kind of nightmarish idea of what's going on.
Right, that's very true. And you also set this in a confined space, without really you just jump right into the story. This guy's in a box, he's chained up, you're kind of thrown into that scenario. And then even when you leave it, there's still so many questions, and there's so many things that, like, in a good way, there's still so many things that the audience can fill in with their own horrors, if you will. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it was funny. You know, a lot of people asked me if I was going to do a feature film and kind of go further with it and build the world out. And to be honest, I have just no interest in doing that. Like, I think it is what it is, and that's what I kind of wanted people to experience. I think, you know, sometimes you could take something further and it just kind of loses the whole artistic purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think that there's something you said for, I mean, the short film as a medium itself. A lot of people think of short films as, like an experiment towards a feature or something, or a larger concept. And it can be, obviously, but I think that there should also be short films that are just short films.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it just depends on what you're trying to accomplish with what you're doing. For us, you know, it was just kind of a debut of what our company can do, what I could do as a filmmaker, what my partner can do as a producer. Um, and we just wanted to do something that we'd have fun with, people would enjoy, and hopefully would talk about.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, horror films are fun, and they do get people talking. So we're
Yeah.
definitely a fan on this channel. I know that you have the award behind you, right? That you won for Jim in the Box.
Yeah, I don't know how well you guys can see it, but that was our award for Jim in the Box at the Raleigh Studios Show Off Your Shorts Film Festival. Um, it was crazy. Like, with my buddy flew in from Chicago, Richie Baby, who's probably watching right now. I don't know, but he actually came up with the concept with me for the short, and he's got a story credit on it. And when I told him we got into the festival, he's like, "I'm flying out to LA." You know, we grew up in Chicago together, and he flew out and he came, and I'm like, "Don't expect anything. Like, there's a lot of really good films in this festival." And we were both sitting there, and they announced that we won for best horror film, and we both kind of were just in shock and awe. But what an amazing experience! It was really wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really cool that you got to share that moment with a longtime friend who even flew in from another state. That's awesome.
It's very cool. Yeah.
So are you and Richie Baby still in contact?
Yeah, we're very close friends still. We talk a few times a week at least. And then I should mention my producing partner at the time. His name is Ian Kaiser. He's gone on to do a bunch of great stuff. I mean, everybody that worked on the project has really been fantastic, and most of them have gone on to do other great projects. So it was a great experience for everybody.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I mean, I know that you did this film some time ago, and that you also, I think, actually shot it on film, correct?
Yeah, it was crazy. We decided to go for 35 millimeter. We were running around trying to get short ends from people. We built the set in a day, and then we shot it in a day. Um, it was just such an amazing experience, and I'd never worked with film before. Like, everything I think I ever did was on videotape.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. It was a great learning experience, and you know, I don't know. For me as a filmmaker, just having uh, either a picture in my head or an idea or a concept in my head, and being able to see it become visualized in a medium like film is pretty profound. It's cool. I always tell people, if I could draw, I would never need to make films. Like, I would just make comic books and tell my
That's
stories
so
that way.
good.
But for
I know, I'm
whatever
the
reason, I
same
can't
way.
draw circles. So
Yeah. I'm the same way. I'm always like, I wish I was an artist of different mediums. I find drawing and painting and things to be so interesting, but it's not something I'm skilled at.
it's a really great talent. I'm very envious of people who not only can draw and do stuff like that, but like, I can't dance, I can't sing, I can't play instruments for whatever reason. I had this knack for storytelling in film.
But I think what's cool about film, though, is that I've always said this, that film is kind of the art form that brings all the other art forms together. Like you need all of those art forms to put on a film, to put on that kind of production. You need like a storyboard artist, you need like hair and makeup, you need, et cetera.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, it's a medium that just brings all the talents together. And it's really amazing to see come, to fruition. So I think every time a film gets made, it's a miracle. And it's amazing anything ever gets completed, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. So how long did it take you to make Jim in the Box from start to finish?
Honestly, it happened pretty quickly. Once we decided we were going to do it, we just started putting together the crew and storyboarding every single shot. Got our construction guy who was going to build the sets. I think we did it all like within a couple of weeks. And the actual production was like, again, we built the set in one day. We kind of blocked it out and then we shot it the next day and we were done.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love those. I love hearing all these short film productions that are just like whirlwind experiences.
Yeah, it was funny too, because like the one shot at the end there where he's kind of reaching for the doorknob and it's pulling away.
Yeah.
We had spent a lot of time prepping to do like a vertigo shot. Like I had my heart set on doing a vertigo shot, and it just was not coming off on camera because there wasn't enough background, I guess.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell like that was happening, even though we were doing everything the right way.
Right.
So like on the day, we just had a flip on a dime, and I was like, what if we shot it like this? And it seemed to work out great. I kind of like it better than had we actually got the vertigo shot, because it's different. So being able to just adapt on on the fly like that, especially for low budget stuff, it's really important.
It is really important. That I think that's a really key lesson that people have to learn. I always say that, like, from my background, because I also have had a filmmaking background, like my background in it has taught me immense amounts of patience. Because you have to, like, I mean, as much as you have to like hurry up, you also have a long waiting period when you're in development and writing and things like that. So it's like hurry up and wait, as they say.
I'm going through that right now.
Yeah. You said you have some productions on deck. So what are those actually? What are you working on next?
Well, I'm not sure how much I could say about them, but I've one very big feature film that I'm working on. We have an amazing director attached and great team of producers. We're out to A-list talent on it, and hopefully that'll be in the trade soon. The project is about Jim Jones and the People's Temple, so I'm very excited. I'm producing that one.
Nice.
And I can't wait to make all the announcements. Hopefully, once COVID dies down a little bit, we'll be able to get back into it.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited because I'm going to be directing my first feature film soon.
Nice.
Fingers crossed again with COVID and everything. But that one's going to be crazy. So
that's amazing. Yeah, you can't do that and build a set in one day for that, can you?
We're going to try.
I love it. Let's see, what other things that I want to ask you about this film? Oh, so you told me that it was your hand that was actually feeding the crickets because no one else would touch them.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. The actor that we cast as the clown, he had a full beard first when he came on to set, and he's like, yo, I can't shave this beard. I'm a commercial actor. Like, this is my look. And I had a full beard at the time too. And I'm like, I'll tell you what, I'll shave everything but the mustache and I'll leave it if you'll shave your beard. And like, we went back and forth for a while. And finally he's like, all right, I'm committed to this project. I'll do it. I really like your vision. So he ended up shaving he had like a big, nice bushy beard. So he ended up shaving it off. We got the clown makeup on him. He wanted to do it. When we pulled out the crickets, he's like, I'm not holding those. So he refused to do it. We had a PA on set, Howie Raines, and he was like the superstar of this production. Like he flew in from Australia not too long ago, came out to like be a filmmaker, like sweetheart of a guy, did like all the amazing hard work on set. Like my job was nothing compared to like this guy was doing.
Yeah.
And when the actor wouldn't handle the crickets, he went in to do it. And then like the second he tried to do it, he's like, I can't do it. And he wouldn't pick up the crickets either. So I went and I put on the clown suit myself and fed the crickets to Brad Smith, our actor who played Jim in the Box.
That's hilarious. Also, good on Brad for having to like, did he actually have to eat those or at least like put them in himself?
He did put them. He was a trooper, man. He went along with it. And like to be chained up that whole time too, like it.
Yeah.
I felt terrible. Like he had some bruises on his wrists, and I was like, man, I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble for this. But no, everybody on set was absolutely amazing. I mean, it was such a great experience, especially for your first project or first, I guess, real project. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like you had a bunch of rock stars. I do love that the guy from Australia didn't want to hold the crickets. I feel like Australia has way more frightening things.
He's like, funnel spiders, no problem. Crickets, yeah, I don't know.
Amazing. That stood out to me. So the bugs were hallucinogenic. What was the thought process behind making that a thing, or were they hallucinogenic?
They were definitely hallucinogenic.
Okay.
We had a great VFX artist, Ted Andre, who did the eyes dilating, which was actually a pretty tough job, especially on a super low budget thing like this.
Yeah.
And because we shot it on film, so it had to be transferred and then transferred back. It was this whole ordeal. But he had to like actually track the movement of the eye in order for it to dilate the way that we did it. So that it was a really cool thing that we were able to pull off.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. I feel like there's probably so many people today who don't have any idea the layers of doing VFX on film as well. Like,
oh my God. I mean, just doing the transfer and the online, it was crazy. And then the color correction, like I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but
yeah.
Obviously it was just an amazing experience. Like I can't even tell you. I don't think I would ever shoot on film again because of how far we've come with digital technology.
Right.
But it's kind of sad that medium isn't something that people will get to experience probably going forward.
Yeah, it has become, for some people, cost prohibitive, but it just has such a unique look to it, and that's what I think is really cool about your film too. There's something about this space that you created, and then having that like grainy film look to it is really it just adds to the
yeah, it was really important for Ian especially, and then eventually me too, to do it on film.
Yeah, really cool experience to do for like your first film like that as well, with this group of people.
Again, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I don't think Ian did either, but once we got up and running, it was just nothing but the finish line. That's all we saw.
Yeah. So where did you build this set too? Because it seems large. Maybe it's not, but it seems like it had to be fairly big.
We shot. I forgot where the soundstage was. It was just a small soundstage in North Hollywood. I wish I remembered the name of it. It's been a little while, but yeah, we just got there. We built out the box, and then we built out the room that the box was in once he breaks out of the box. And then we had a huge green screen for the final shot.
Okay, I was wondering.
People haven't seen it yet. I'm not going to ruin anything, but
yeah, that's true. I was going to ask if you built all that stuff too. That's cool.
Yeah.
To know the inside tricks. So, I mean, I know you said this was filmed a while ago. I forget the exact year. When was it again?
I got to look at the reward.
2008.
2008.
2008. Okay, so I even dated it further. So 2008. So there's been, lots of time since then. What have you been up to since then, since Jim in the Box?
So after Jim in the Box, Ian and I, my former partner, we started optioning a lot of material and taking meetings around town. We had the rights to a video game called Leisure Suit Larry that we were very close to setting up through Vivendi Games, which is now Activision. We were in talks with Electronic Arts for their Ultima Online game, which we were going to set up. We had like Ron Shusett, who did Total Recall and Minority Report, a bunch of other big films. He was going to write it. But those projects fell apart. Ian and I went off and we made a feature film called Red and Blue Marbles. It's still sitting on a hard drive in his basement for some reason. I don't know why, but we went our separate ways after that project. I really hope it comes out sometime. It's actually a beautiful film.
Yeah, we'll use this as incentive for him to get it out there.
Yeah, maybe he's watching. But after that, I went to go work in international film sales for a company called Atlas International Film. After that, I was the director of development and acquisitions for a TV movie company called Cinetel Films. And I worked on Lavalantula 2, Damn Sharks, Earthastrophe, which I did some writing on, and that was a lot of fun.
Nice.
A whole bunch of just sci-fi, channel movies.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And then I left there to. But after that, I was like, you know what, I want to do some of my own projects. So I went back to developing and producing, set up the Jim Jones movie that I'm going to be doing.
Amazing.
And then hopefully I'll be directing my first feature film. Oh, I forgot, I did a project in between called Zombie Family.
Yes, and also on YouTube, right?
All check that out. It's on YouTube. It's a lot of fun. I don't know how, but it got 3.5 million views. And the comment section is the funniest. Like anybody who wants to just die laughing, go read the comment section. We'll watch the short too, obviously. But,
yeah, you gotta have context for the comments too.
It's ridiculous. And my favorite part is Lloyd Kaufman of Troma Films, like got a hold of it and saw it and loved it and commented on it.
Amazing.
So that was cool.
So much fun. Yeah, people love zombies. So.
And then Ian and I also produced this comic. I don't know if you can see it too well, Lilum.
Yes, very cool.
We did that through Image Comics, and that was a great experience too. We got to go to all the Comic-Cons and promote the book and do interviews and all that. So that was really fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know much about the comic world, but I know you were saying that you would like to get into that too. And if you could draw, you said.
If I could draw, I would probably draw comics. And if I'm ever, fortunate enough to, step up the ladder, I would love to work on, those type of projects. I love fantasy and adventure. Yeah. So for me, superhero movies are like, the top of the goal list.
Yeah, for sure. Lots of special effects in those, visual effects in those too. So just don't shoot those on film.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. If James Cameron can do it, maybe I can.
Yeah, exactly. That's so true. Well, thank you so much for talking to us. This has been really fun. Is there any final words you'd like to give our audiences?
No final words. I'm at JNW Buzz, like my initials, Joseph Nathan Weisman, JNW Buzz for Twitter and for Instagram. I don't know. Follow me if you like my work. Feel free to message me if you like.
And watch Zombie Family.
Watch Zombie Family, watch Jim in the Box, and hopefully keep an eye out for announcements on the Jim Jones project, as well as my first feature film, which I really want to talk about. It's just so crazy, and I can't wait to make this film.
Yeah, definitely keep us posted. We'll be in touch, and then if you have updates, we'll try to, when we're allowed, we'll try to share.
Hopefully soon. And thank you so much, Olivia. I appreciate you doing this. It's really a great thing, not just for the filmmakers, but for aspiring filmmakers and people who are just fans of art and, seeing film in any format.
I absolutely agree with that. We're so happy to have had you. Thank you for talking to us about this movie and all other things that you're doing. Very excited to see more from you, and fingers crossed that those two projects get off the ground here soon.
Yeah, my pleasure. And big thank you to Joe Russo, who introduced us too. So
Yes, you know we
appreciate that.
love Joe Russo. He's our Nightmare Cinema guy, so big
He's
fan
great.
of here. So shout out to Joe. Thank you so much. It was great talking with you.
Yeah, so much fun. Thank you.
See you.